In October of 1998, on 77 acres of land with 156,000 square feet, the Bellagio Hotel and Casino opened in Las Vegas, and it was the most expensive hotel in the entire world at the time of opening. Now, 24 years later, in October of 2022, the Bellagio is the most overrated, overhyped, overpriced luxury hotel in all of Las Vegas. Now, I know some may disagree. Well, let's talk about it. Now, when it comes to the history of Las Vegas, there's no question and no doubt that when you think of the iconic memories and things that stand out as a signature in Las Vegas, that Bellagio was one of the top of the tops. The Fountains of Bellagio is truly a signature of Las Vegas history and is truly iconic, and even to this day, it's one of the biggest reasons and one of the biggest attractions that when people go to Vegas, they have to go to the Bellagio, and for good reason. The hotel has a man-made lake that has synchronized music where you'll see a water show, a fountain splashing up to 460 feet in the air. You're just not going to see that anywhere. That's truly something that's going to be a signature no matter where you are. But that doesn't make it one of the top luxury hotels in all of Las Vegas. That doesn't make it one of the best hotels in all of Las Vegas. You don't even have to stay at the hotel to see this attraction. Now, I've got a list of reasons on why I say that the Bellagio is not only the most overrated luxury hotel, but also the most overpriced hotel, because I'm going to compare it to a lot of different things at the other luxury hotels on the Strip. So let's start with the Fountains of Bellagio, because when it comes to Las Vegas in general, people who go for their first time or people who might go for the first time in a while, they normally might stop to go and check out the water show, because you don't really get to see this often. You hardly see this or anything like this anywhere. But once you've seen it, you've seen it. The most you're going to see is a different type of music or a different song, and then the music dance into a different pattern, which is cool. That's nice. But does that make the Bellagio a luxury hotel? No, it's just an attraction at the hotel. It's not even inside. You don't have to go inside the hotel to see that. Not only that, if you stayed at the hotel, some may debate that you don't even get the best views of the water show from the hotel itself. You've got two neighboring properties that have fountain view rooms, and you can get better views of the water show from your room without staying at the hotel. I'm not sure if it's the best look that people can stay at neighboring hotels and get a better view of your main attraction from their hotel. Maybe it's just me. So now that we know that you can enjoy the Fountains of Bellagio without ever stepping foot inside of the hotel and barely even stepping on the property itself, you can enjoy the Fountains of Bellagio or the water show, whatever you want to call it, from neighboring hotels. Let's talk about why I say this is one of the most overpriced luxury hotels on the Strip, because it truly is. If you're not familiar with my TVP Versus series, it's when I take hotels that are similar, so luxury hotels, affordable hotels, etc., and I'll grab a room from two hotels that are in the same tier, and then I'll compare those two rooms. I have a scorecard that I'll use to break all of that down. I'll leave a link in the description for that playlist so you can check out videos from that series. But one of the most unanimous points that was brought up when I created that series, price was unanimously across the board. Price was in the greater majority of the people who answered. And it makes sense, because when you're going on vacation, you want to stay somewhere that's in your price point, but you also want to get the best bang for your buck. Now, when it comes to what the Bellagio offers, and as we go through this video, a lot of it will start to make sense. I wanted to talk about the price point, and just like I do in that series, for this particular part of the video, what I did was I grabbed 3 random weekends that are upcoming, and I compared the price to stay at the Bellagio to compare the other luxury hotels to see what price point Bellagio was in comparison to these other luxury hotels, and then we're going to talk about if it's worth it or not. So the first random weekend I grabbed prices for was for the weekend before Christmas, because Christmas is popular to most people, so most people won't spend Christmas in Vegas, but some people may go the weekend before because rates are typically cheaper. Now, to stay at the Bellagio, it was $301 a night for that weekend before Christmas. And when I went and looked at the other luxury hotels, I looked at Aria, Vdara, Caesars Palace, Venetian, Palazzo, Wynn, and Encore, and it was cheaper to stay at all of the other luxury hotels in comparison to the Bellagio. Now, if you know Vegas, and you know Vegas like I do, or you travel to Vegas frequently, and you're familiar with these luxury hotels, I can assure you the greater majority of travelers who are going to Vegas would not spend more money to stay at the Bellagio than the majority, if not all, of those other luxury hotels that I mentioned. Now, the next random weekend I grabbed was Super Bowl weekend, because Super Bowl weekend is a very popular weekend. If you've been out there Super Bowl weekend, you know it's a major vibe. Now, to stay at the Bellagio was $469 a night. If you wanted to stay at Aria, Vdara, Caesar's Palace, it was cheaper. If you wanted to stay at the Venetian or Palazzo, to stay at Venetian, it was $1 a night more and less than $20 a night more to stay at the Palazzo. And then Wynn and Encore was much more, because most of the celebrities who go to Vegas like staying at Wynn and Encore. So with that being Super Bowl weekend, makes sense. So the third random weekend I decided to take a look at was St. Patrick's Day, March Madness opening weekend, spring break weekend, that whole weekend in mid-March. Because if you know Vegas, that's one of the most funnest weekends, busiest weekends, exciting weekends of any time in the year. Not saying the best, but it's one of those top weekends that if you want to go to Vegas, that's a weekend you go. And for that weekend, it was $801 a night to stay at the Bellagio. Maybe it was a system error, maybe it was a glitch, I have no idea, but that's what was there. The screenshots are up there. And it was cheaper to stay at every other luxury hotel by a landslide than staying at Bellagio at one of the funnest weekends in all of Vegas for the entire year. So as you just saw, out of 2 of the 3 random weekends I just picked, it would be cheaper to stay at all of the other luxury hotels on this list than Bellagio, and most people probably wouldn't do that. So now that we have an idea of what your price point will be to stay at this top tier luxury elegant hotel, let's talk about what type of room you're gonna get for potentially $800 a night. Now, I've got room tours of both. I'll put some pop-up cards up here so you can check out the rooms. It's going to be the Bellagio Resort King, and then their newly remodeled room is the Bellagio Premier King. You can check out both those videos on the channel. I'll also put links in the description so y'all can check those videos out after here if you want to see what you'll get for $800 a night. But just to summarize both of them, the Resort King room was their dated room that needed a renovation like 10 years ago. But in the bathroom you come in, you've got a soaking tub, you had a 2000 style vanity sink, and you can see the same type of design with the walk-in shower. And then when you went into the bedroom area, it was actually nice. The bedroom area I didn't mind too much. The design was cool, the bed was comfortable. They had the wallpaper themed above, so that was the design in the resort room. And then what they did for the remodel has actually been kind of controversial and debatable, and to some instances actually might have hurt the Bellagio. How could you hurt your own property by updating the room? And people may ask, well, why do you think they hurt the room with a remodel? Because I work with numerous clients through consultations. I've talked to numerous people in the community, frequent Vegas travelers. We all talked about what you should expect for a room and a price point. And the one thing that they said, especially if you're paying $800 a night for a room, is that once you hit about $250 or $300 a night, they expect to have a soaking tub in their room. Okay, well, what is your point? You just said they have soaking tubs in the Bellagio room. No, the new rooms no longer have a soaking tub. What they did was they took out those soaking tub and made an extremely large walk-in shower, which I can't lie, I like it. I think it's real nice. They did finally update that 2000s vanity style sink, and they made it more modern. It looks really nice. But then they pulled out the old walk-in shower and made a bigger closet. So where's the soaking tub? When you go into the main part of the room, you can see the update. They changed the headboard, they changed the wallpaper, they've updated the entertainment space. So you can see that they updated the room. They made it more clean, more modern. It looks really, really nice, but it's overpriced. Now that you've seen all that, it should start to make more sense, especially when you can go to all of the luxury hotels and in their base rooms or in their base studios, you got a soaking tub, walk-in shower, water closet, all of these other things that you should get at a luxury hotel that you don't get at the Bellagio's base room. Now let's move on to another one of the staples of the Bellagio, the conservatory. Now we all by now who know Vegas know that people love to go to the Bellagio and check out the conservatory depending on the season, because you know they changed the theme of the conservatory based on the season. So you have the Chinese Lunar New Year theme, and then they have a theme for winter, spring, summer, fall. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Are you paying $800 a night to look at a flower garden? Who paying $500 a night to look at a flower garden? Are you serious? You can go in the hotel, look at the nice little flower ceiling that you have when you go into the check-in, go through, check out the conservatory, and bounce. Like, ain't nobody paying $500 a night for a room that's not up to par just to look at some flowers? Come on, man. I don't know why people keep hyping over this conservatory like it's the hottest thing in Vegas. Like, that's something you can go in, check out, and bounce, get your social media photos, and call it a day. Don't even have to go back into the Bellagio the rest of your trip. Correct me if I'm wrong, comment below if you disagree and think otherwise. But I definitely don't see people paying that kind of money and want to stay at a hotel to look at some flowers. So once you've got your flower fixed and checked out the flower ceiling at the entrance and got through the flower garden, they have an art gallery. Now, if you're into art, you probably will truly appreciate the art gallery. They have a really nice art gallery at the Bellagio. But are you paying $800 a night to stay at a hotel to look at an art gallery?
Nope.
I highly doubt it. Now, if you ask me in my personal opinion, well, what do you think the best thing is at the Bellagio? I think the pool complex at the Bellagio is the best thing at the hotel. Would I pay $800 a night to stay at the hotel to go to the pool complex?
Oh, hell no.
Absolutely not. And I'm pretty sure most people who go into Vegas wouldn't pay that kind of price either. I don't think they pay $500 a night just because the hotel got a real nice pool complex. But I will be willing to admit it is one of the nicer pool complexes, not even of luxury hotels, but just of all of the hotels in general. Bellagio definitely has a very nice pool complex, so that is a good signature of that hotel. So I will give Bellagio that. They do have a nice pool complex. I think all of us can universally agree that Bellagio has one of the nicest pool complexes in all of Las Vegas, so I'll definitely give them that, but not for the price. Now let's talk about the buffet. Now some people might be like, well, Bellagio got a buffet, some of these other luxury hotels don't got a buffet. That is true. You can get kudo points for that. But guess what? Just like the theme of this video, the Bellagio buffet is
Overrated.
Now, some of you may be familiar with Norma Helly. Shout out to Norma Helly. She did a recent video not too long ago about Bellagio's buffet. Now, I've crossed paths with Norma and she's just as nice in person as she is online. She's very cool, down to earth and humble. And I watched her review of the Bellagio buffet, and I'll just go ahead and say the things that she didn't want to say because she didn't want to come off rude and negative like a lot of people on YouTube. But it's the truth. And the truth is the Bellagio buffet is not that good. It's overrated, just like the theme of this hotel, and it's overpriced, just like the theme of this video. So why would you say that? Y'all can go watch her video, see her reaction, but I'ma just tell her like it is. It's been like that. Bellagio buffet has never been a top tier buffet, but they definitely charge you like they're a top tier buffet, just like they charge you $800 a night to stay in a room. Are you serious? And that's just the truth. It's not that you shouldn't eat there. If you want to eat there, you definitely can. They've got things there for people to eat, and there are things that people will probably enjoy, but is it worth the money? No. That's the whole theme of this video, that Bellagio is overrated, overhyped, overpriced, and their buffet was just another extension of that. So you couldn't even throw them having a buffet in there to give them cool points for a luxury hotel because their buffet overrated and it's not even worth the money. You may as well eat somewhere else, not even go to the buffet. Now, if you think the Bellagio buffet is good, if you think the Bellagio buffet is worth the money, comment below and let me know your thoughts. Now, next up on this amazing luxurious hotel, the Bellagio, we have poker rooms. You know, I listened to all of the different points that people make about these hotels and I took notes, so I want to touch on everything individually. So we like to talk about poker rooms. People who play poker, I myself am a poker player. No Limit Texas Hold'em is my game. I love poker. Been playing poker for a long time. Now, when we talk about poker rooms, you can give Bellagio a nod for having a poker room because some people like to take points from other luxury hotels or other hotels in general for not having a poker room. I think that's absolutely insane, and a hotel not having a poker room should not give it plus or minuses, especially if you don't play poker. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about the poker room. So Bellagio has a nice poker room. It's a good sized poker room, and it was one of the top tier poker rooms for a while until Aria came through with their poker room, and their poker room is much better than Bellagio's poker room. Some people may even think that Venetian's poker room is better than Bellagio. Some people may think that Caesar's Palace poker room is better than Bellagio's, but they have a poker room. So for the poker players, I guess we can sit back and say, all right, we'll give Bellagio a nod because they have a poker room, but their poker room is cool. It's not one of the best in Vegas. It's not a top tier poker room in Vegas. If you play poker and you like their poker room and you would put Bellagio's poker room over some of the poker rooms at these other luxury hotels, comment below and let me know. Now let's talk about Bellagio's casino, because the Bellagio has a massive casino, really spacious. There's plenty of games and slots and tables around the casino. It's huge. Now recently there was an article published from the Reader's Choice Awards where they ranked the 10 best casinos in all of Las Vegas, and it didn't just specifically include luxury hotels. But on that list, they actually had the Bellagio ahead of the Aria and the Wynn and Encore, which I thought was comical. But as I mentioned in a recent live stream, I talked about how I think the Bellagio casino is cool, but it's busy in pockets. Like when you walk through the Bellagio casino, it's never really fully packed. There's the one area where the table games are, where a lot of times it can be busy, especially over the weekends. But when you look at the casino itself, and then when you walk through the other casinos and you feel the vibe and the energy and you feel the action throughout the casinos, that's Aria, Venetian, Palazzo, Wynn, Encore, Caesars Palace. When you go through these hotels, it's hard for me to sit back and say that Bellagio has one of the better luxury casinos when you look at the crowd and the energy. I know some people talk about the odds and the table games, and I mean, that can be debatable and subjective to some. But when I just look at a casino, obviously you have to take the looks into it because an environment plays a big role in where people like to gamble. It's a lot of negative energy. People don't want to go and gamble with that. If you walk around and people look like they losing money, people not gonna want to gamble there. If people see you playing at a slot and the slot doesn't seem hot, some people might jump on that slot machine because they just think they got the magic hand. But I take everything into account when I look at a casino. How it looks, the vibe of the energy, how big the casino is, how many people are often playing there. And the Bellagio is not really a dead casino, but I don't know that I would put it as one of the top casinos. I probably put Bellagio's casino maybe mid to bottom level. I'll leave that up to y'all. Y'all can comment below and let me know where y'all would rank Bellagio as far as the luxury casino tiers go. Now let's talk about Bellagio's location, because we all know, and I myself as well, when it comes to describing the Las Vegas Strip and we're talking about points on the Strip, the Bellagio is the center of the Strip. We always use the Bellagio, the Fountains of Bellagio, as the center of the Strip, and then we navigate north or south from there. That's cool and all. It's cool that the Bellagio's location is in the center of the Strip. That definitely helps it when you consider where to stay, because if you want to stay somewhere center or close, that would be in the conversation. Are you paying $800 a night? Sorry, are you even paying $500 a night to stay in a room without a soaking tub in the center of the Strip?
What?
But when we look at luxury hotels, if we specifically want to talk about the location, Bellagio has the best location. But you have Caesars Palace, you've got Vidara, and you have Aria right there in that same vicinity. And I'm pretty sure if people are going to save $300 less, may have to walk 1 or 2 minutes, they're not going to care. And aside from Encore and Wynn, because I'm just not a fan of their location when it comes to walking the Strip, Venetian, Palazzo, Caesars Palace, all of these hotels are all in walking distance to numerous things on the Vegas Strip. So just because you're not staying at the Bellagio doesn't mean you're going to be out of walking distance, nor does it mean because you're staying at the Bellagio, you're in the best location to walk to certain places on the Strip. So I give them kudos for the location. Entertainment. Now let's talk about entertainment. Now, once upon a time, there were some nightclubs at the Bellagio. They had the Bank, they had Hyde. Bellagio was a place that if you stayed there, you had some entertainment going on. You know, they got a bar that's got a piano. You know, there was some life to Bellagio. Nowadays, Bellagio is just boring. It's just straight boring. Let's just call it a spade. It's boring. They've got the supper club and a lounge, so there's something there to do. Like, it's not completely deserted, but it's compared to the other luxury hotels when it comes to entertainment, Bellagio, it's not it. Yeah, you have the supper club, which is okay, and you got a lounge, but it's nothing compared to the other lounges at the other luxury hotels. And then when it comes to shows, you have O there at the Bellagio, which is a very popular show. It's one of the top shows in Vegas. When you look at the hotel overall, and it's in general, and then you look at the other luxury hotels, Aria has the Alibi Bar, they have Jewel Nightclub, they have Liquid Pool. Then you look at Caesars Palace, it has Omnia, which is arguably the best nightclub in Vegas. They've got a couple bars and lounges there that are cool. You have Venetian that has Tao, you have Palazzo that has Electra. When I'm not even gonna waste my time, but when it comes to entertainment or luxury at a hotel in Las Vegas, on the Las Vegas Strip, especially for $800 a night, does Bellagio have it?
Nope.
And if you're looking to go and party, most people aren't even going to Bellagio to party. They're going to watch the water show or go walk through the flower garden. And I wanted to save this best for last. I want to talk about the dining options at the Bellagio. Bellagio's a luxury hotel, and they have an array of dining options. Now, I know some people have said in other videos that I don't want to stay at a luxury hotel to eat cheap, which might be you, that's true. But some people don't go to Vegas and want to stay at a luxury hotel and eat fine dining all weekend. That's not in most people's budget who are going to Vegas. And even most people who stay at these luxury hotels don't always have a luxury budget. They want to stay at the hotels for the experience. But if you're going to stay at the Bellagio and you want fine dining, then you've got plenty of fine dining options. But this is where I say it also kind of teeters down as well, because these other luxury hotels also have not only fine dining options, but they have other dining options that cater to people who might not have a fine dining budget. So yes, as a luxury hotel, you should have fine dining and luxury dining because you're a luxury hotel. It wouldn't make sense to be a 5-star hotel with 3-star eatery. That doesn't make sense. So to the point, if you wanted to specifically just look at luxury hotels that have luxury fine dining, then yes, Bellagio would definitely be one of those hotels that have the luxury fine dining options. But when you want to look at a luxury hotel that can cater to all, that's where I say Bellagio starts to become overrated, because when it comes to dining options, you want to be able to cater to multiple groups of people and not just one group of people. Because I can assure you, and if I'm wrong, contact me through email to some of you representatives out there, the Bellagio wants to have as many people stay there as possible. It doesn't matter what your financial situation is. They want you to just stay there, and then whatever you do from there is up to you. And I'm pretty sure when most people go to Vegas, they want to stay at a hotel, and then once they stay at a hotel, they'll navigate the rest of their trip from there. Now, I'm not fully going to knock the Bellagio because they have majority of the restaurants as 5-star fine dining restaurants, with a couple of places that cater to, people who want to eat on a lower budget. So I won't give them necessarily an overrated part of that aspect. I just think it hurts them when it compares to other luxury hotels, when people can stay but also be able to eat for a 3-star budget at a variety of places, while also having the option to eat 5-star if they choose to do so one night or so during their trip. Now, yes, I do truly believe that the Bellagio is the most overrated luxury hotel out of all of the luxury hotels in Las Vegas, without a doubt, for the reasons that I've described in this video. But that doesn't mean that I wouldn't tell anyone to not stay at the Bellagio at all. Most of the people that I know who stay at the Bellagio are MGM Rewards members, and they typically stay at the Bellagio because their member rates are really good or they have comp rooms. But even as a non-member, you can find rates at the Bellagio for under $300 a night, as you saw in this video. It all just depends on when you're going to Vegas and what days of the week you're going, and if there's any big events going on around your Vegas trip. I definitely think if you want to consider staying at the Bellagio, if you can find it for under $300 a night, that would, in my opinion, be worth the price to stay at the Bellagio. But I wouldn't pay anything more than $300 a night to stay there for the reasons listed in this video. Because if it's $300 a night to stay at the Bellagio, then 9 times out of 10, these other luxury hotels, you can stay there in that same price point. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. Do you think the Bellagio is overrated, overhyped, overpriced? And if you would stay at the Bellagio and recommend the Bellagio to other travelers. But that's going to do it for this video. If you all enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and as always, thanks for watching.